What is something perfectly legal that feels illegal? Taking your first newborn home from the hospital with no prior training or experience. Taking a shit ton of samples and then buying nothing. Our weekend Costco lunch. Mall food courts. Bonus points for going back 4 seconds. As a pet sitter for pets in my complex. Even though people give me their key to get into their house, it still feels really weird entering someone's house. Especially when I don't know them all that well. Quick tangent, one time, while leaving the person's house and locking the door behind me, a neighbor approached me at the end of the driveway and started talking to me. They were trying to be subtle, but it was clearly obvious that they thought I'd stolen something. Even after I showed them the key that the owners had given me and reassuring them that I was only there to feed the cat, I could still feel them watching me as I walked back to my place. Taking something into a store like Lowe's or Home Depot to make sure you can find the correct adapter or connection. Then walking out with it and not paying for anything after not finding the correct connector. Waiting for someone on the street when there's a cop around. You mean doing basically anything when a cop is around. Owning a flamethrower is legal in 48 states. California and Maryland require licensing. First drive after getting a driver's license. Walking through a metal detector always puts me on edge. Feel like out of nowhere I'm suddenly concealing a weapon. Turning left at a red light from a one-way street to another one-way street. Edit. For those asking or confused, I live in Ontario, Canada. I got pulled over for this once. The cop was polite enough to let me Google it on my phone. I showed him the results. He shrugged and said back quote, "You learn something new every day," then walked back to his car. Strangest exchange I've ever had with a cop. It's been years since I was in mandatory education, yet I still feel weird being out in town during the day on a school day. Taking money from a take a penny leave a penny tray. It's there for a purpose, but it would feel like I'm taking money that belongs to someone else if I did so. After getting out of the army, US, calling everyone at work by their first names. Or using an umbrella. Putting your hands in your pockets too. Stealing a balloon on Free Balloon Day. We are not talking about some mail fraud scheme or hijacking here. We stole a balloon. Ordering weed of a government website and smoking it in Canada. It's illegal to buy from a guy on the corner, but okay from the government. And growing weed in your backyard. Absolutely nuts. Leaving a store without having bought anything. Or when you walk into a store with something you bought in another store. Driving at night with the dome light on in the car. When the hospital billed me for my 38-hour stay to the tune of $97,000. Working in advertising, I find how much info I can collect on a specific individual is super creepy. As a general note, just don't sign up for newsletters. The stuff you unknowingly give companies on yourself is scary. Feels so creepy. Just your email and full name is enough for people to know your whole life if they put that stuff into FB or other networks. Driving when near a cop. Edit. Holy shit, 25k likes plus 2 silvers and a gold. Thank you so much edits edit. I'm thanking because this is the first time I've actually got a reward. Sorry if you dislike that, lol. Even if you did nothing wrong, you feel like you're driving with a stolen car and you have blood on it. Buying alcohol for the first few months after turning 21. Unpaid internships. It's basically slavery if you don't get any connections from it. Walking underneath the nothing to declare sign at customs, even though you literally don't have anything to declare. Edit. Obligatory thanks for the gold, kind stranger. This happens to be my first rodeo. Riding the elevator facing backwards. Smoking weed in my state. Growing up when it was illegal, I have a Pavlovian paranoia built into the smell of burning cannabis. In a surprising amount of US states, you can have relations with someone aged 16. I always thought it was 18. When you get a craving for cake in the middle of the night and try to open that damned plastic container and suddenly the whole damn neighborhood is awake and knows your shame. Turning on the lights in the car while driving at night. The biggest adulthood plot twist was discovering an entire generation had been convinced it was illegal. The library. The fact that you can just hang out there for hours, use the computers, and then leave with a huge stack of books and movies without paying a cent is very surreal for 2019. Walking on the middle of an asphalt road with no cars around. Makes me feel like a teenage movie rebel. Eating popcorn with sushi at 4 AM. Are you okay? No. Paying lots of money to get a politician to do what you want them to do. Leaving your house in sweat pants with no intention of working out. Speak for yourself, Duke Fansipants. Collecting dead rats in the tunnels of the local sewage system and tying their tails together into a wreath. Sometimes this procedure brings them back to life, creating a cursed superorganism. I know there are no explicit laws against it, but I feel like God frowns upon it. What? Taking a shower while someone else is asleep and accidentally dropping one of the soap bottles. That shit is far louder than if you were home alone or if everyone was awake. Walking naked from the bathroom to the kitchen to the bedroom and the RM. I have read and agree to the above. That's it for today. Subscribe for more awesome questions from Reddit and its funny answers. Thank you.